There's a travel secret that I swear by, especially as a senior solo traveler. It's simple, affordable, and surprisingly fun, and it keeps me in shape. I walk. Not just because it's free and not just to tick off tourist spots. I walk because it helps me settle in. It's how I adjust to the rhythm of a new place, especially when I'm traveling solo. So today I want to share some of the cities that I've especially loved walking in, and why walking is still my favorite way to explore. What's the first thing I do when I arrive in a new city? Well, I lace up my walking shoes and I hit the streets. So I've made it to Lisbon. Trip was uneventful. It's a beautiful, clean city, and I've already put in my steps, taken lots of photos. I'll give you a little preview. It's about 5 o'clock. I'm just going to find myself something to eat. I'm hoping to catch the sunset from the park across from my Airbnb, and I'll probably be in bed by 9. I walk because it helps me to settle in. It's how I adjust to the rhythm of a new place, especially when I'm traveling solo. When you're on foot, you're not just visiting, you're participating. You're part of the life of the city. And as a senior traveler, there's a kind of quiet confidence that comes with learning a place block by block. I'm just relaxing on a bench in the Parco Sempione, which is right adjacent to the Castello, and only about 10 minutes from my Airbnb. It's been a great place to just relax and walk around after my flight from Montreal while I'm waiting to get into my Airbnb this afternoon. The Airbnb has stored my luggage, so I've been really free to wander around, look at the castle and the park. When you're on foot, you're not just walking, you're participating. You're part of the life of the city. And as a senior traveler, there's a kind of quiet confidence that comes with learning a place block by block. I walk because it's the best way to really feel the city, to smell the bakeries, to hear the music, to stumble into the little streets that aren't on the map, but end up being just the best part of the day. When I'm traveling in Europe, I often take the back streets. I guess you'd call me a backstreet boy. They're always more interesting. Sometimes they've got tall buildings on either side, so they're shaded, and that's a little bit of an advantage. And they give you a better sense of what the community's like. You run into more locals. There are often little shops along the way that are interesting and much less expensive coffee shops than around the main tourist sites. Some cities feel instantly familiar. Many European cities do. They're compact, safe, culturally familiar, and incredibly rewarding to explore on foot. Others feel more hectic, more unfamiliar. But even in those places, walking is how I orient myself. It helps dial down the anxiety and lets me find my footing, literally and emotionally. Let's start with Rome. It's busy, yes, but if you break it into walkable zones, it's surprisingly manageable. I love walking from the Pantheon to Piazza Navona and on to the Trevi Fountain. Perhaps with some coffee stops or gelato break along the way. You're surrounded by thousands of years of history, but the rhythm of the daily life is right there too. Scooters buzzing around, restaurants opening for lunch, and the ruins of ancient buildings all along the way. Then there's Florence. If Rome is grand, Florence is intimate. It's a walker city. You can cross it in an afternoon, but you won't want to. There's too much to notice. Start at the Duomo and wander. Every street feels like a painting. One visit, I challenged myself to spend 2 full days walking without paying admission to anything, and I still had an incredible time. I'll put a link to the video I made for that trip at the end of this one. But whether you're heading up to the Duomo Tower or just watching the sunset from Piazzale Michelangelo, this city welcomes your footsteps. When I was in Milan last year, I stayed just a short walk from the Castello Sforzesco. It was a great location, close to the metro for getting to the train station or covering longer distance, but also perfectly situated for walking. I'm sitting tonight outside the Castello Sforzesco, and my Airbnb is about 5 minutes away. It's been an excellent place to stay, very convenient to public transport and walking to different parts of the city. I've really enjoyed this location. From there, I could easily wander to the Duomo, pass by La Scala, and then continue all the way to Navili. It made for a wonderfully comfortable walking day, and I had the flexibility to stop anywhere that caught my eye along the way. Palermo is pure atmosphere. A little chaotic, very alive. It blends influences from Africa, Arabia, and Europe. Walking through its markets, you just feel this cultural mix of the smells, the sounds, or the shouting and the colors. It's gritty and beautiful. You'll pass everything from Byzantine churches to street art to vendors selling fresh squeezed orange or pomegranate juice. In a city like Palermo, walking gives you the freedom to explore at your own comfort level. You can keep things spontaneous, but also retreat to quieter corners when you need a break. Then there's Lisbon. It's beautiful, but it's not flat. The hills are real. I often found myself climbing a steep street or a set of steps and suddenly coming out at a mirador or a lookout with the city spread out below me. The old trams are a treat and helpful when your knees need a rest. But walking here gives you a slow reveal. Tile-covered facades, fresh laundry swinging overhead, and tiny wine bars tucked into the corners. For me, it felt like part of the adventure, an old world city with layers to discover. In London, I've walked from Westminster Abbey to Trafalgar Square to Covent Garden, maybe passing a park or ducking into a bookshop. The tube is great for covering distance, but above ground, that's where the charm is. Street performers, gardens, cafes, it's a city that rewards the curious walker. When I took this picture a few years ago at Buckingham Palace, I didn't realize that in the car coming down the mall was the Queen. She peered out at me through the window in the back seat of the car as she went past. I was stunned. And Edinburgh is full of character. Walking up the Royal Mile or climbing up Calton Hill or exploring the winding alleys and hidden courtyards of the old town, it all feels like stepping into a storybook. You can take it at your own pace, and there's always a quiet bench or a corner pub when you need to pause. Closer to home, Toronto always draws me back. It's not my hometown, but as someone living in Ontario, I visit often. And I always enjoy walking around the downtown core. In summer, the waterfront comes alive, boats bobbing on their moorings, patios full of laughter, and long stretches where you can just walk and watch the world go by. From the CN Tower and the Rogers Centre to Kensington Market and the ferry to the islands, it's all connected by footpaths, parks, and an energy that feels friendly and familiar. Start with a free walking tour if you're unsure. These are easy to book online and often led by locals who love sharing their city. They work on tips, they're casual, and they often become a highlight of the trip. You can learn a bit of history, meet fellow travelers, and get some ideas for what to explore next. A little planning goes a long way if you want to enjoy walking in a city. When I'm booking accommodations, I always look for places either within walking distance of the central sites or at least near a metro or a tram line. It saves time, cuts down on daily logistics, and gives you more freedom to wander spontaneously. In many European cities, that sweet spot, close to the core and transit, isn't hard to find if you plan ahead. I started off thinking I'd list 5 favorite walkable cities, but the truth is, walking is a key to almost every good travel experience that I've had. Lets you see more, feel more, and connect more deeply without spending a cent. So wherever your next trip takes you, whether it's a familiar European square or a noisy, unfamiliar market, give yourself a chance to walk. You might just find that the very best part of your journey is the part between the guidebook highlights.